If you want me to tell you my view, it is the worst piece of economic reform I've ever seen in my life in this country. The consequence of introducing that tax at that level in Australia today is very, very bad for this economy, particularly in terms of its international competitiveness.
Now, he's a climate sceptic, though, in effect,
he
isn't
doesn't
he? And so
believe
therefore he
it's
would
happening.
see no environmental imperative.
Yeah, he sees no purpose. He sees no purpose to the tax because he doesn't believe the globe's warming, he doesn't believe the humans are responsible. So therefore, of course, to him, it looks like a completely absurd and difficult and a completely absurd thing to do. But of course, there are all sorts of other things jammed into what he's saying there. I mean, theoretically, Australia is coming in at a very high price for carbon, $23 a tonne.
More than double the global figure.
But actually, so many free permits have been given across the Australian economy that the real price to the economy is much, much lower than that. And the other thing he's not factoring in is that trade-exposed industries are going to be given protection. That seems to be dropped out of the argument of anybody who is attacking this tax. So that's a grab all from him, which I think is not as nuanced or fact-based as it might be.
With due respect, David, I would rather take my economic advice from that David, not this David.
Well, that's because you have the same view as him.
No, because he has been a successful figure in the banking industry. He ran this country's largest bank.
We should get him to solve all the nation's problems. He's been a successful banker.
Do you think you could run the
I can't believe that you're poo-pooing expertise from a guy like this.
No, a clever banker is surely somebody who can understand the science of global warming and can have a completely different view than the CSIRO.
He's not talking about the science. He's not talking about the science of global warming. But if you want to talk about the science of global warming, how will a tax in Australia affect a polar bear in the Arctic? It won't happen.
And the butterfly in China. Don't forget the butterfly in China.
Karen.
On the price, the government has now locked itself in again to the $23 price, and the Prime Minister did it again this week. But talking to people in government, they are actually hoping that the global price rises over the next 12 months and gets closer to their $23, so it doesn't look quite as bad.
Okay, as all this talk of carbon tax and the rest of it is that creating a bit of hubris on the opposition side. Let's hear now from Julie Gillard and Tony Abbott.